Well, welcome everyone tonight to our Team Huddle. I'm thrilled to have all of you guys on this evening, and just to let you know that it is so important for your business to plug in as much as you can, because you will learn so much tonight that will help you in this next week. We meet monthly because what we do in Arbonne is simple, but it's not always easy. So we need this weekly meeting to keep us lifted up, to keep us connected, and to keep us focused on where we want to go in our business. And there are bits and pieces that Arbonne is so big. I mean, the business is so big that there are bits and pieces that we miss, that we don't hear about, or we don't see, or we don't really know what something's going on. And when we come together weekly on these meetings, you may catch something that you had missed. And also on our Voxers, if you listen to your Voxers as often as you can, because you will also catch things on there that maybe you had missed about what's going on in Arbonne. And I don't know if you guys have followed any of the MVPs who have been in Maui this past week, but they are really, really excited about what's coming down the pike with Arbonne in 2019. They are sworn to secrecy, not to tell us what the new products are, what the new promotions are, but they got to hear everything that Arbonne has in store for us. And so that's one of the perks of being an MVP, is that you get to know ahead of time. And they are all giddy about what's coming out for us in 2019. So I can assure you that this is the very best time to be building a business with Arbonne, because with our new CEO, our new ownership, I mean, things are just going to be fabulous this year. So, we all need to be really focused on getting our businesses into momentum so we can get to where we want to be and utilize all of the perks, all the things that Arbonne's going to roll out, be able to utilize them in building our businesses. And so that brings me right into what I want to do a quick training on this evening. I've also asked Tara and Brenda to share tonight. So every Sunday I will ask two of you guys to share something in specific, to help everybody build their businesses. So let me get into my training first, and then I'll turn it over to Brenda next, and then Tara will send it over to you. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is, of course, because it's January, is goals. And I just want to briefly say something about the goals. And we are in the third week of January. And if you have not written your Arbonne business goals down yet, then take these next few days and write them down. Because if we don't write down our goals, we will never achieve what we want to achieve, because we will get sidetracked, we will get lost. And that's another reason why I had brought up your life word, or your word for the year, is because that keeps us focused, keeps us focused on where we want to go. So writing your goals down for where you want your Arbonne business to be in 3 months, 6 months, and in a year will help keep you focused and keep you working and keep you motivated to do things to move your business forward. All right. So after we write down our goals, then of course we need to then break down those goals into smaller goals, because those are big goals for your 3 months, your 6 months, and break those goals down smaller, so that you will be able to write down what type of activity it is to accomplish those goals. Let me mute everybody for a second. Okay. And when you want to speak, just go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. So what is the activity? So I'm going to now, so we know we have to write down our goals, and then you write down, you break down those bigger goals into smaller goals. And to accomplish those smaller goals, it takes activity. Everything in Arbonne is based on activity. Any goal that you want to accomplish in Arbonne takes activity. So I am going to circle back to an old but tried and true method of tracking our activity, and that's 40 faces. So many of you guys know this sheet. Many of you guys have used this sheet, but we're gonna go back. I encourage you. Now remember, you are the CEO of your own business. I can't mandate that you fill this out, okay? I can only encourage you. And there are a lot of new consultants on here, so I'm going to talk about this 40 faces in a little bit of depth, and then your sponsor will get with you and go over it a little bit more in detail with you. But the 40 faces works. If you guys were on our nation meeting last week, who am I trying to say? Which region? Jules region and Meredith's region were still running the incentive for doing the 40 faces. And I don't know if you heard the people who had completed 12 months of 40 faces. So that meant every month for the year of 2018, Ashley Armstrong and Heather Anderson, they each did 40 faces every month. So what happened to Ashley Armstrong's business and Heather Anderson's business last year? They both promoted to region. Okay, both of them, and they were the two people who got the incentive. I don't even know what it was, the incentive that they offer for doing it for 12 months. And so it's tried and true. It's proven. It's a proven activity tracker to do the 40 faces. So I highly encourage you to incorporate the 40 faces sheet into your activity for each month. So what is 40 faces? 40 faces is we need to talk to, and when I say talk to, we need to share the Arbonne story and the Arbonne products, share your story, and ask for the sale. Basically close this person, close 40 people every month. If we are doing that, 40 new people every single month, your business will grow. Okay? And so what I want you to do, since we're starting mid-January, go ahead and write down all the people that you're working with now. They don't have to be new, but starting in February, all the people that you put on your 40 faces has to be new people. All of the old people that are in your funnel, you can write them down on your sheet for January. Okay? And this is when I talk about people in your funnel, it's people that you've talked to Arbonne about who have not said yes, no, who have not joined your team or who have not purchased product from you. Go ahead and write their name down here, and then make sure you get 40 names on here for January. And I know that we can do at least 30. I mean, we're on the 13th, but we all know that most of our business in Arbonne happens in the last 2 weeks of the month. And so I feel pretty confident that you guys can all fill out the 40 faces, or if not 40, do 30 faces. All right, so when we talk about 40 faces, it's 40 new people every month that you're sharing the Arbonne story with. And the Arbonne story is talking about the products, talking about the Arbonne philosophy. You're also sharing your story, which means why you love Arbonne, why you're building an Arbonne business. And then you're asking them either to join your team, or you're asking them to participate in the 30 Days to Healthy Living, or are you asking them to sample product? Now, we want to close as many of the 40 faces as you can. And your goal should be to close at least 30. It's almost, and I will say this from experience, it's almost impossible to close 40 people unless you're doing parties. If you're doing parties, it's easy to close 40 people because you have them right there in front of you, and they're not going to leave the party, leave your event without either ordering or joining your team. I mean, that's just the nature of a party or a get together or, you know, a healthy living presentation. Most people are going to do something. So, you know, it's easy to fill out 40 faces of people that you just talked to Arbonne about, but it's only going to build your business is if you, and I'm just using a sales terminology, close as many of those people as you want. And close can be they give you a no. That's okay, but because you shared the Arbonne story, you shared your story, and you asked for the sale. You never know what their intention is if you don't ask. So be bold and ask them to join your team, ask them to purchase products, ask them to host for you, ask them so you can count them as a completed 40 faces. So what I do, as you can see, and as busy as I've been this month, I actually have 11 people on here that I've been talking to this month. And so when I close them, I will highlight their name. And what I do when I do my 40 faces, when February comes along, I staple February's on top of here. And then every time I talk to a new person, I fill in, you know, their name on one of these heads. But I also go back to my January, and if I have anybody who I didn't close, I'm still, you know, they're still in my funnel, so I'm still contacting them. I'm still asking them, you know, will they join my team? Will they purchase product? Will they get into 30 days to healthy living? And as soon as I get an answer from them, I highlight their name because they're somebody I can count. And then over in the corner, I put how many people I actually closed. You know, they came to a decision. And so if we're doing this consistently and you're closing at least 30 people every month, your business will grow, you will promote, you will add business partners. And this is a tracker. This lets you know if you're seeing enough people every month. And the research in Arbonne shows the people who have risen to the top, who have risen to VP level, they will tell you that you cannot talk to less than 40 people a month and expect to promote through the business. It's just what it takes. Now, you don't have to do these all in parties. You can do them. All of us build our business differently. And that's the great thing about being a CEO of your own business. However you talk to 40 people is however you do it, but just make sure you're talking to 40 people. You know, Mallory, I'm going to pick on you for a minute because you're in college and you see lots of people every single day. And so if in passing, because you're seeing so many people, you introduce them to the product, you tell them a little bit about your story, and you say, hey, do you want to do this 30 days to healthy living? And they go, yeah, I want more information. So you shoot them more information. Then you follow up with them and you say, and they say, yeah, I want to do it. You can just do that in your everyday because you see so many people, because you're out with so many people. Now, me, on the other hand, I am not in an environment that Mallory is in, so I have to build my business a little differently. I have to make one-on-one appointments because I'm not seeing so many people every day. So I actually have to text, message, call, and say, hey, will you meet with me? I want to share, you know, Arbonne with you. I want to tell you about the Arbonne business. I want to share with you about the 30 days to healthy living. That's how I'm going to get my 40 faces, and, you know, hosting small events, having 2 or 3 people come over to my house so I can share the 30 days to healthy living with them. That's how I'm going to do it. Everybody does it a little bit differently. Brenda is always out doing her networking with her networking group. So that's how she gets her 40 faces. So we all do it differently. And it really doesn't matter how you see or how you share the Arbonne opportunity and the Arbonne products with 40 people. It's just that you do it with 40 people every month. So the key. Now, when we all know that it is so hard, it's just hard to close. Those of us who've been in Arbonne a long time, it's hard. A lot of people, like I can tell you, all of the 11 people on here I've contacted, and I've not closed any of them because it's been difficult for me to get, you know, to find time to talk. It's been difficult for them. So, but I can assure you now that my month with all I got going on has settled down, I will be laser beam focused on getting an answer from these people. And sometimes they're just not going to give you an answer. So that's when, if it rolls over to February, that's why I staple them. I keep them together, because when I'm working on my February people, I will turn back and see who did I not close in January and continue working with them until I get them to closure. Okay. But remember, you can't move the people in January's name to February, March, April, May, or June, because every month it needs to be new faces, new people. That's why we continually add names to our 100-person list. You know, remember when you started your business, your sponsor shared with you, or if you watch the Getting Started video, I talked about the 100-person list. We are always adding new names to that list so that we know that when we have time to add them to our 40 faces, we contact them and say, I really want to share Arvon with you. And then you put them on your 40 faces, and then, you know, you funnel them into your business. They're either going to buy product or they're going to join your team. Okay, so 40 faces is key. And 40 faces, if we're doing 40 faces every month, your business will grow. All right. 40 faces, and just to kind of break 40 faces down into numbers, 40 faces, if you're closing 30 of those, you will be getting at the minimum 8 ASVPs. Okay? So, I mean, and it's a numbers game. So if you close 30 people, some of them are going to tell you no. Some of them are going to join your team. And if they join your team, they're going to purchase an ASVP. And some of them are going to join the 30 Days to Healthy Living. They're going to purchase an ASVP. And some of them are just going to buy product. But if you're closing at least 30, that's going to get you at least 8 ASVPs. So we should focus on the 40, make sure we close 30, and that will add up to 8 ASVPs, which will add up to at least 5 new every month. And that is all of our goal, is to have at least 5 new preferred clients and or consultants every month. And so if we're doing that and we're tracking it with the 40 faces, your business is absolutely, absolutely going to grow. So I highly encourage you to utilize this tracking tool. And I just posted it on our region Facebook page. I posted the sheet. So print it off, and you can go ahead and print yourself 12 of them. That way you'll never end up empty, and you can staple them all together and just start with one, or start with one and then staple them on top, which is how I do it. All right, so that was my training for this week, is 40 faces. And now, Brenda, I'm going to turn it over to you. And I unmuted you. Well, I did, but now you're unmuting yourself. You do it.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay, you stole a little bit of my thunder.
I love it.
Okay.
Great minds think alike.
I've had a lot of distractions the first 10 days of this month, and I had to just really get back to basics, because it's like I've got to pull out this month. I need to pull out this year. And I was, let's get the elephant out of the room. You know, the numbers aren't what we are. The numbers aren't what we want right now. So, but we are our own CEOs. So I was kind of in a bit of a funk. I was getting a lot of no's, and I was getting people cancel on me at the last minute. And so finally, I just sat back and I told Stacy, I said, I'm going for no's. I'm just going for no's. And my goal the other day was to get like 5 no's. And it's like, then I kind of, okay, when you get 5 no's and you can forget the day, you can just, you know, you can move, get that out of the way, and then you can just have a good day. We had a thing in real estate. I guess I keep going back to that, because I don't know technology like you guys do, but the one thing that I feel like I can bring to the table is years and years of just doing this, and just the ups and the downs, and it's part of it. I remember, like, you would reach a real high goal in real estate and you'd make it, and then the next month or two you wouldn't have anything, and you would. So I'm kind of used, but you just keep going. You just keep going, because in the long run, it all works. But one thing I did learn was the one with the most no's wins. And it really just kind of goes back to this 40 faces. It's like, if you get a certain amount of no's, you're going to get some yeses. It's just, and nobody wants the no's, nobody. But I just try to flip it, and if I go for the no's and I get the no's, and it's almost like I feel good about a no. Does that make sense? Because at least I know I'm out there, I'm doing it. I'm rereading Dare to Dream, Work to Win. I'm doing personal growth because I know that that's where it's at. And I'm revisiting my why. And I'm learning again to keep the vision and just trust the process, because we see it works. You've seen Amy Chappell and Ashley Armstrong. You know it works. You know it works. They're no different than us. They're absolutely no different. The one thing I kept going back to as well was try to keep it simple. Barrett talks about in his book, it's like stay plugged in, give it enough time, and be consistent in what you do. So that was huge to me. The one thing I did, I'm going to challenge you guys to do this. And Laura, I'm sorry, I meant to do this with the grandkids today, and I got a little sidetracked. So if you would do this for them and tell them that Nana wants them to do it, I would really appreciate it. 1 year in real estate, at the beginning of the year, let's just say it was 2019, okay? We wrote a letter to somebody and said, we dated it January 31st, like 2019. But we wrote it now. Hey, I have had a great year. This is what went on personally. This is what went on professionally. This is what went on with my health. It's basically your goals and your dreams. And you write them down. And you put that letter, I wrote it to my sweet mom and daddy because I know they're with me in spirit. And I've put it up, and I'm going to open it December 31st this year. We did it in real estate, and I have to tell you, 95% of the stuff we wrote down came. Your mind is just really powerful, and so it still goes back to that mindset. But I told this girl the other day, I was at a networking meeting, and I said, you should get your kids to do it. And I sat there and was like, why haven't I asked my grandkids to do this? Because they have goals too. So it was funny. I did tell Laura about it the other day. It was odd because she called me with some really good news, and literally, I had just written it down. It was really kind of amazing. So I'm trying to embrace the no's, keep my vision, make my why even stronger, and I'm not going to let the no's get me down. I'm just not. It just I realized with the girl today that it was really her kind of insecurity, that where she didn't want to do the 30-day and she felt awkward about it, and I was able to call her and reach out, and she still felt awkward. And it was like, no, it's her issue, not mine. So just believe in yourself, embrace the no's, go for it, make it a challenge, get a partner. Stacy, I'm going to go for 5 no's tomorrow, another 5. Wow. Okay. So that's my 2 cents.
Thanks, Brenda. Thanks for sharing it. And Brenda, when you talked about the letter, when I went to the Green Bay retreat a couple years ago, they have everybody do that at the Green Bay retreat. You write yourself a letter, and it was like what you wanted to have, what you wanted to happen, what your goals were, and you actually left it there, and they mailed it back to you before it was time to register for the Green Bay next time, to see what if all of that happened and came true. So that is actually an excellent, and since it's the beginning of the year, look at Laura, she's showing hers up there. I love it. Since it's the beginning of the year, it's a great activity. Thank you, Brenda. If each one of us write down what we want our year to look like, and then seal it up and put it away. And actually, if you're like me, you would lose things. Put it in your, what am I trying to say? Not daytimer. That's the old word. What do we call it?
Cabinet.
No.
That's where I put mine in my. I just got it out.
Planner.
Yeah,
planner.
Planner.
In calendar.
your planner. Put it in your planner in December. That way,
Oh.
when December rolls around, it's there, and you're ready to open it up. So excellent activity, Brenda. Thanks so much for sharing. And then also, Brenda, you made me think about when you were saying going for the nose. Your no's count on your 40 faces because you brought them to a close. You know, you got them. And the more you do it, the better you will get, the better your odds will get at closing people that they will say yes. And so, you know, it's all about getting better with the ask, getting better. The more you ask people, the more often you're going to get. The more you ask, the more yeses you'll get. So that's why Brenda goes for so many no's, because she knows that if she keeps getting a no, the yeses are around the corner. Yeah. And it's funny how you'll get no, and then all of a sudden the yeses start pouring in. And it could be because we're getting better, or it could be because the odds are in your favor. But who cares? You're getting the yeses, you know, who cares? So anyway, thanks, Brenda. I appreciate that. Now,
hey, Kim. Yes. I was trying to show the quote from Debbie Neal that I have on my vision board, which is backwards if I hold it up. Is it backwards to y'all?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Can you read it?
You read it to us.
Read it to us.
Okay. Well, it says, I simply showed the plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no, and only 300 signed up. Out of those 300, only 85 did anything at all. Out of those 85, only 35 were serious. And out of those 35, 11 made me a millionaire. So, you know, out of 1,200, you know, she got
absolutely
a ton of no's. Yes. So anyway, I can't do the math that quick, but
I know. Don't ask me to do the math.
Yeah, no. Anyway, when Brenda was talking about the no's, I thought, oh, that's just like my Debbie Neal quote. So anyway, sorry to interrupt, but I thought that was really powerful.
I appreciate it. Does anybody else have anything to add on to, you know, talking about 40 Faces activity before we change gears?
I do. Can I add something else? Sorry. I just, for the new people, I think it was November, actually, a year ago. We read this, I can't think of the name of the book now, but one of the things was you try to get people to say no, because people are more comfortable saying no. And you would ask them something like, so would it be ridiculous if I dropped you off a sample? Their answer is going to be no, which really means yes. That makes sense. So
yes, I remember. I listened to that book on Audible. That was your book, Brenda. That was the book.
Yeah, it was something. It's terrible. I can't remember the name of it, but
yeah.
Oh, the name of the book is Never Split the Difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent book. And Brenda also mentioned personal growth.
Yay, Tara. Tara has it.
Yeah. Personal growth is so important. Yeah. We should all be reading at least one book every month. And, you know, once you've been in Arbonne for any length of time, you'll end up with 2 or 3 books going a month. It doesn't mean you finish all of them, but it means you're reading them because people are recommending them and you don't want to miss out on something that somebody else says is good. So you'll have a couple books, but at least one personal growth book every month. And if you need a recommendation on a personal growth book, all you have to do is ask your sponsor, because there are hundreds and hundreds of great books out there for us to read. All right, so now we're going to switch gears. I have asked Tara to share with us a nugget about nutrition, because so much of our business is built on the 30 days to healthy living, that those of us who are not have a nutrition background, it is so beneficial for us to have these, just some great nuggets, just, increase our knowledge about nutrition. So I asked Tara to share something with us tonight. Tara?
There we go. I didn't know if you were going to unmute me.
Yeah.
So it's an awkward silence. Yes, thank you for asking me. And I do have a degree, and Laura has a degree, but the good part is with nutrition, you can teach yourself. And as long as you have credible sources and like a whole team like this that can, help you, you don't have to have a degree. So that's pretty cool. But I was trying to think of what would be a just good general nutrition that would kind of cover everything that we go over, not just in Arbonne, but in our own life. And especially since a lot of us, I see new faces, so I don't know if everyone's done the Arbonne 30. But think about it while I'm talking, because you'll hear some of the same things that we learn in the program. But just the one general nutrition point that I wanted to speak on, and it comes up a lot, especially when we're talking to prospects and talking about the program. They want to know, our prospects want to know, even our new teammates want to know, well, how many calories do I have to eat? Or how many carbs do I need to eat? How much protein do I need at every single meal? Y'all, calories in whole don't really matter at all in our program, in anyone's life. Unless you have like a special diet that your doctor ordered for you that may or may not work, but calories really don't matter. So I'm a visual person. I don't have a bowl of salad here with me, but just kind of picture it in your head. You have a bowl with your imaginary salad in it, and the type of lettuce you're using is romaine lettuce. So you put the romaine lettuce in the bowl. Okay, and then you can add the tomatoes and carrots or whatever, but just focus on the lettuce. And then in your next bowl, for your next salad, you have a spinach and kale mix. So you grab it out of whatever container it came in or whatever bag it came in, and you put it in the bowl. You can fit more spinach and kale in that bowl than you can fit the lettuce, just because of the way it is. And the lettuce really doesn't have much nutrition value to it. It's mostly water. You get some crunch. When you eat it, it kind of lays in your stomach funny and it doesn't smush down. But the kale and the spinach gives you a lot more nutrients, a lot more fiber. You just get so much more in that nutrient-dense food than you get in the lettuce. So if that doesn't make sense, raise your hand. This is Nutrition 101. Laura's laughing at me. I think she's grabbing lettuce. I don't know what she's doing. But so that's basically the gist of our program. You can eat more and still lose weight, still reach your goals. Some of us don't need to lose weight or don't want to lose weight, but you'll naturally lose weight with our program without having to count calories, without having to track your protein and your macros and all of that on MyFitnessPal. You don't have to do that. So that's my big general nutrition point that I want to point out, because the people we're prospecting are friends, our family, our coworkers, and then sometimes just complete strangers. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what kind of nutrition misinformation they have. You don't know what kind of bad diets they've been on. You just don't know. So when you're talking to people, just kind of have that in the back of your mind that they don't know what you know, and it's our job as a consultant, especially with the Arbonne 30, to teach them that there's an easier way to get things done. So that's my general point. I don't know if you want me to elaborate more. I could talk more forever about it.
Yes, I know. We all need to know everything that you and Laura know about nutrition. But so we will do this weekly, bi-weekly. We're going to have both of you guys share about nutrition, so we all will learn what you guys know. So we'll at least be a third of the way where you are. But no, thank you, Tara. I so appreciate that. But yeah, if calories, I'll get to you in just a second, Kelly. Yep, calories are not important in the 30 days to healthy living, as long as you're eating densely nutritious, nutrient dense foods, you're going to get what your body needs with fewer calories. So yeah, thanks, Tara. I appreciate it. Kelly?
Sorry, I know Kelly has a question.
Yeah.
But the set sale ends tomorrow.
That's right. Get on the stick, everybody. Yeah, let them know.
So Tara, thank you for that. And I'm going to use that example of the kale spinach mix versus the lettuce. I get some objections, and I think people get what you said, but our society is so used to counting calories. What do you say to that kind of objection, where they just think, oh, I have to because that's the way I was taught?
Well, I have a client who's in right now. I've known her for a long time. I know her through another company, through sales. And she is that way. On day one, or actually before day one, she said, so how many calories am I going for? How do I track my macros? And basically the same thing. And I said, look, you don't have to do that in this program. I said, I know you might not want to follow the meal plan, but if you just follow it for the first week and get like a general gist of how it is, I said, if you track on MyFitnessPal or whatever app you use to track, delete it for a week and see how you feel not having to track every single calorie, protein, fat, carb. And you will get objection because a lot of people just want to know exactly how much they took in that day and exactly how much they expended. But yeah, that's what I did with her. And she started on the January 1st group, and she did it. She deleted her app. She said, I'm just going to trust you because you've been doing this for a while, or you've done the program before. I'm just going to trust you. And she's doing great. I mean, she's lost weight and is feeling good, and kind of got it under her belt exactly how the program goes. And I'm hoping she'll stick with it. So
that's good. Thank you. Because I'm experiential too. I need the experience before I'm fully in belief. So that's very helpful. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments regarding nutrition? All right, thanks, Tara. Appreciate that. So we look forward to our nutrition education weekly because we all certainly need it. All right, so just going to close this evening. But wait a minute, before I close, let me be sure and ask, does anybody else have any other questions or comments that y'all want to contribute tonight?
Right. There was a little chat going on with Rachel. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but when Tara first said something about not counting the calories or talking about the lettuce versus the kale spinach mix, and she had asked, how is that possible? So I don't know, Rachel, if your question got answered after she spoke a little bit longer, or.
What I was asking is how it's possible to not count calories and still lose weight. That's what I was asking.
So did that sort of get answered by what Tara said, or?
So I unmuted myself again. So if you follow the meal plan that we have suggested in the group, you'll meet the calories, the supposed calories that you're supposed to get for the day. So we never want anyone to go under 1,200 because that's kind of a standard number. But if you're following along with the meal plan and following the portion sizes to any degree, I mean, not portion, but like if the recipe says it serves 4, then, cut it all in 4 and that's your portion. But it just takes that mind power out of it where you don't have to constantly be thinking about calories. But if you follow the plan, have your shake or smoothie, and then 2 meals, and then water, and then maybe a snack or 2, you will reach those 1,200. And we don't want you to go under, because then at that point, if you're under 1,200, your body kind of thinks, oh no, we're starving, and starts to store fat. So Laura,
Yes, that you're doing a good job. And what we have to think that our, society has made the weight game about calories, and our body's really looking for nutrients. And 100 calories of Oreos and 100 calories of a spinach salad are going to react very, very differently in your body. Because of the nutrient density of the spinach salad versus the Oreos. So your body's looking for the nutrients, not so much the calories. And so with this program, it's really neat that you don't have to count calories. You don't have to focus on calories. Your body is going to be getting so many nutrients that it's going to be full, and you're not going to have those cravings. And I don't know if you've ever done this Arbonne 30 program, but I know the very first time I did it, I had another dietitian friend. It wasn't Tara, but another dietitian friend do it with me. I said, I don't want to have rose-colored glasses on while I do this. I really want your objective opinion. And we both had trouble eating enough. I mean, we were so full from our smoothies and the delicious recipes that we would have to encourage each other to continue to eat. So anyway, it's really neat because people think that when they go on a weight loss plan, they're going to be hungry, they're going to be unsatisfied. And then when they do this Arbonne 30, they find they're not hungry and their cravings are gone, and they are satisfied with what they're doing. So I don't know if anyone else can speak to that, but does that help, Rachel? I'm looking down because you're down. Okay, good.
Hey, I can, and I just want to add to that. A lot of times, like, my mom is a good person that I kind of healthfully argue with about this, because she's on a clean eating and it's not Arbonne, and she pays $100 a month for it, and it drives me crazy. And I've lost weight, and I'm just going, what are you doing? And the other day she told me, she goes, yeah, I mean, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight, because I have green beans and I have chicken, and everything that she was telling me, she's like, she eats chicken at every single meal. And I'm just like, Mom. And she's like, I don't know, maybe I'm not getting enough. And I'm just like, you're not feeding your body the nutrient dense food it needs. And then I just went over like what nutrient dense food is and why your body is in starvation mode. It's in starvation mode because of it wanting nutrient dense food. Like, that's what it means, And so it's just like, a lot of times, like, I think Laura, when you said the Oreo theory, that was me. Like, I'm like, I'm eating 1,200 calories of Oreos prior to Arbonne, and I mean, it's not, that's not right. And so I think society, like Kelly, had said, society thinks that the 1,200 calorie, I should be losing weight. But if people aren't eating the right things, then they're not going to lose weight. And then they just get frustrated and they start, eating weird things. But for me, I mean, I've lost a total of 76 pounds on 30 days to healthy living. And that's over a matter of, I mean, I've done Arbonne now, it'll be 3 years in February. And I mean, I'm not consistent, but I mean, I eat pretty good. Brandon's just lost 10 pounds and he's been on this for 2 weeks now, and he's down 10. And so he absolutely loves it. And he was just telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm not even full. And Tara, Liam's up and he's a little delirious. He's got a fever right now, saying bubbles. I don't know why. But I think the salad bowl, the visual, I'm going to use that, Tara. And I didn't know that about the romaine lettuce. So I'm gonna use that, and maybe that'll bring my mom on the Arbonne side. I don't know, because she hates romaine lettuce.
Oh my goodness. I love the way that we all can share and help each other. Does anybody else have any comments?
I just have one. Prior to Arbonne, I did personal training and fitness instructing for about 20 years, and so many of my clients would, and this is way before I knew much about nutrition. I was just one of these hardcore, just exercise 2 times a day, 3 times a day, and stick to 12 to 1,500 calorie diet. But I had so many clients who just wanted to save their caloric intake so that they could drink margaritas after 5 and eat queso and chips. And, they were at the gym every day, and you could clearly tell whose body was changing, even though they were probably consuming the same amount of calories, whose body was changing. Those people who were eating nutritionally dense diets and eating enough protein and eating enough fruits and vegetables and nuts and whole grains versus those who were just drinking their calories and, eating their chips and queso. They were still, fat or skinny fat. They may have lost a little bit of weight, but they didn't look healthy. So it truly is about the nutrition, what you're, the nutritional intake, not the calories.
Thanks,
I was going to
Angel.
say, can y'all hear me?
Yes, Whitney.
The car speaker thingy. So, one of the first things that really made sense to me on that is when you and Dr. C came up and did the healthy eating at my house in Alma. That you said, we are the most, what was it, overfed but undernourished that our population has ever been, and that's because you can take those 1,200 calories of Oreos, or you can take the 1,200 calories of spinach, and your body reacts completely different, like Laura said. And I can't remember if it was you or Dr. C that said it, but you were talking about how you can eat as much as you want on the plant-based stuff. Like, you could sit there and go back for thirds and fourths and that kind of stuff if you need to, but most of the time you get to the point where you don't need to, because your body is finally getting fed what it needs, and it's not going to take as much to fill you up, because your body isn't actually craving more food. It's craving those nutrients that it's not getting. So anyway, I think Laura said all of that, and I probably just kind of restating the same thing. It finally clicked and made so much sense for me when you said it that way, is that, yeah, I'm feeding my food, but I'm still starving, I'm still craving whatever, and I'm still going back for seconds, not because I'm hungry, but because cells in my body are going, I still need something, and you still haven't given me what I need. So I don't know if that makes any different sense to anybody or not, but it did for me.
Thanks, Whitney. Yeah, absolutely. And, we have stated it here tonight 5 different ways, and, on why our Arbonne 30 or 30 Days to Healthy Living works. And so take that information and share it with your prospects, with your friends, with your family, with those people that you want to join your business, those people you want to get on the 30 Days to Healthy Living. And as Tara said, the last day is tomorrow. So get on that text message, get on the phone, get out and see those people and let them know that they're going to get that extra free product, the iGel mask, if they order tomorrow. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and close. We're about 9:20 tonight. So in closing, what I wanted to say, you heard this on the Nation meeting by Georgie said this, and this is something that that Cecilia said during the Maui training. This was kind of her she spoke at the Maui, the MVP training, and this is kind of what she molded her whole presentation around, was believe bigger, commit bigger, commit to talking to at least 10 people every week, and commit to work harder if your goal is to grow your Arbonne business. All right, so believe bigger, commit bigger, and commit to work harder. These are things that we can do starting now throughout the rest of the year. Just put those words out there, write them down, put them on your screensaver. Believe bigger, commit bigger, and commit to work harder. Because if we all do this, all of our businesses are going to grow exponentially in 2019. All right, guys, thanks so much for being on this evening. We had a great training, great discussion. I enjoyed it, and I most enjoyed seeing all of your beautiful faces tonight. So have a super week. Print it off and get started. I know everybody can at least get 30 faces on this sheet by the end of the month. And at the beginning of February, we'll talk about this again and how well we did and where our businesses are going from there. All right. Good night, everyone. See you soon.
Good night.
Good night.